and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do another study vlog because I have a whole lot of homework to do, and what's the point in homework if you can't make content out of it? Am I right? No, but in all seriousness, I have a lot of homework to do and I want to get it out of the way before the weekend, because by the time it gets to the weekend I just want to chill out. We all want a chill weekend. So yeah, I'm going to do my homework, and then if I have the energy and or time, I am going to do some other bits of revision, like maybe a physics booklet or a biology booklet on PMT, maybe a bit of crochet for a bit of fun. So yeah, it's going to be a fun vlog. Hopefully there's going to be another coaster conversations in this video, but as I'm filming this right now, I have no clue what the topic will be, but my brain will come up with something, because I've been watching a lot more coaster related content this week, and you know what, I think I have a topic. You'll find out later on in the video, but my brain's just gone like, ooh. So yeah, let's get started with the studying. I thought we'd do a quick setup tour again before we get started. So we've got the first homework here that we're starting with, which is the Spanish speaking practice questions. We're writing them down. It's a long story. Anyway, we have cute little Yoda here. We still have the coin from last week, and we have a Warren James jewellery box for earrings that I'm currently wearing, but they do... Oh my god, that's up forever to open. That's supposed to be aesthetic, but they do have just some studs in, but those studs always irritate my ears like really bad. Got revision cards here. I just never really move them from here. These are like the big ones, like I'm planning on maybe like doing like the core practicals in science on them, and then I can use them to like, I'll blur out on a piece of paper and then use the card to like check what I've got right. Got my tablet here. I probably won't use that today. We've got my checklist, so we've got homework on one side and revision on the other side. It's not anything fancy, but it's there. Got my zebra sarasa in 0.5. I personally think 0.5 is the best. Like, I used to always have 0.7, but 0.5 is just superior. So yeah, we have this tablet, and then we have this additional maths book that my my maths teacher has lent me, so shout out to him, he's amazing. But yeah, because I wanted to do a bit more of that at home, but like the textbook's like 30 quid. I mean, I would have paid it, but it's kind enough to lend me this. And here we have Dragon Ball, and this is because tonight my free trial for Crunchyroll ends, so we're trying to get through as many Dragon Ball episodes as possible tonight. And it actually works out better because I'm using my phone, I won't be able to use the Pomodoro method, because when I'm filming, my notifications switch off. So, well, the sound on my notifications switch off. So, since these episodes are about 20 minutes long, it's only 5 minutes shorter than I would usually. I'm about 3 minutes into this one though, but I'll probably just start it again. But yeah, I'm going to be watching Dragon Ball and I won't be able to finish it tonight, but try and get as much done before the free trial ends, and I have to cancel because I ain't paying £5.99 a month to watch one show. That's too much. I might pay for it in 1 month in like in November or like December, where I've got like nothing to do and I can just sit there and watch Dragon Ball. But I'm not gonna pay right now, like in the middle of my GCSEs. You know what I mean? Plus, I can watch Dragon Ball Super on BBC Bitesize, so it's not like I'm just like cutting out Dragon Ball from my life. And I do actually need to read the second book from the Dragon Ball Z manga. And then you know what? I've never watched the original Dragon Ball. Or if I have, I was very young. I was very young when I watched Z. Actually, this isn't even quite Z. This is Z Kai, which is just like a shortened version. I don't know why I had to move my book all the way to do that. But yeah, Z Kai is just like a shortened version without all the filler, because nobody ain't got time for the filler. I think I would have time for the filler if there were a 7-day free trial. But yeah, I think if I watch like 7 episodes today, then I'm already like a third of the way through for the next time I start watching it. So that's pretty good, in my opinion. So yeah, we're going to start off with my Spanish homework. very quick shout out to my friend who told me what's going on with the computer science homework because I left the homework at school. Who does that? Welcome back to another edition of Coaster Conversations. So, this week I wanted to talk about CoasterBot's video that I did 6 months ago on how to build the perfect roller coaster, theoretically, obviously. And he got a list of 13 different features on a roller coaster and asked the general public to rank them by choosing one or the other in I think it was about 300 people. So for example, you'd get given height and launch and you'd choose, and the general public could choose. Well, I'm not sure if it was general public or enthusiasts, but the people would choose. And that got me thinking, why don't I rank these 13 features? Because for the most part I agree, especially but I feel like I have a few major differences as well, and also some points that I'm shocked have been so low. I'm gonna link CoasterBot's video down below, but this is my ranking of those 13 roller coaster elements. So at number 13, no surprise, we have lift hills. Aren't they just so much fun? If anything, I dislike lift hills. I can only name one lift hill that I actually enjoy, and that's Big One. But then again, you could argue that's because of the height. I like the views you get on that, but other than that, lift hills are awful. I hate the Smilers vertical lift hill. It makes me feel like I'm falling out my seat, and I don't particularly like that feeling. I love the rest of the ride though. So the ride has a vertical lift hill, and if I ever go on that, hopefully I will, because Soar is my favourite thing ever. But if I ever go on that, it's going to be really annoying because it'll never be a top coaster because I hate vertical lift hills in particular so much, and just in general, just lift hills are both boring but also just, they can feel really awful. They never, so obviously I just discussed Big One. The only other lift hill that feels nice but it's just it doesn't really have it's not good, it's just meh, it's Nemesis. I don't get why, but yeah, that lift hill is really nice to go up. It don't feel like I'm oh my god, I'm gonna fall out my seat going up this lift hill. I don't know, I just don't like them. It's not a nice feeling. And that was at number 13 on and that was at number 13 on Coasterbot's list as well. Then at number 12, something that might be a shock to some enthusiasts is length. I'm not too fussed about the length of a ride, if I'm perfectly honest. Like, it is what it is. It's more about, like, I don't care about the length. I'd rather, like, it could be a short ride, but have, like, one amazing element, whereas it could be, like, a really, like, I prefer a short ride with, like, a cool element compared to a long ride where there's nothing going on. I get the argument that it may make it feel more worth it, but to be honest, if I was on like a long ride for like 10 minutes after queuing for 10 minutes, it's just like, it's like double boring. You know what I mean? Like, I'd much prefer, like, I'm trying to think, like, alright, people diss on Oblivion for the length, but that drop is amazing. It still doesn't like make it a number one coaster, but I don't think length's all that important. That's going to be cut out of context, definitely, but I don't think length is all that important. Anyway, number 11 is compact, because I don't, again, it's another one I'm a bit meh about, but I'm a bit less meh about than length, because with compact coasters, they usually like dive in between each other, and like there's a lot of head choppers, and I like the feeling of being close to track. I don't think it's like, I obviously, because it's quite low on the list, but it is like it's a nice feeling, like being close to the track. Anyway, that was short. At number 10, we have speed. I feel like speed isn't all it's cracked up to be. Like, I just don't fully get it. Like, it's just like, I feel like with speed, it's not something that, like, I find particularly noticeable. Like, I'm not, like, enjoying it more or less because of how quick it is, I would say. Like, it doesn't, like, obviously it makes some difference. Like, generally, the rides I prefer are, like, a tiny bit faster. Like, I'm just gonna look at my wall. But even then, Nemesis is 2.8 miles per hour. This is why you should get, like, coaster layouts on your wall, because then you can fact check yourself every 10 minutes. But yeah, so Nemesis is 2.8 miles per hour slower than Icon, but it's my favourite ride ever. Icon's not bad by any means. It's my third favourite roller coaster that I've been on, but Nemesis is more thrilling and just more fun than Icon. But Icon is truly, like, if I was to, like, I don't know, Icon is something else. So is Nemesis. It's like, they're both amazing. So is the Smiler. A lot of coasters are really good. Anyway, at number 9 is height. I feel like this is what makes more of the impacts than, like, a lifter when you're, like, talking about views. I feel like height is good, but, like, it has to be, like, one ride in the park. Like, if they're already tall, it's, like, a bit meh. But, like, if you've got, like, one really tall ride and, like, some other pretty average ride, I think it works really nicely. Like, big one. Like, obviously you've got coasters that are, like, double that now. But in comparison to the rest of the park, it makes it more thrilling. Whereas if you have all really tall rides, I just don't think it'd be that big of a deal. So I like height. I really like height when it's like, when there's like a difference in it. You know what I mean? There has to be a height difference, not just height. At number 8, we have positive G's, because I forgot what positive G's do. I'm pretty sure, well, no, positive G's are the ones that keep you down in your seat, right? But I don't really understand what it means by that, like, necessarily. Like, it's just kind of like there, but just as a general rule, I tend to enjoy just about any force on a roller coaster, and like the others weren't really about force, so it's kind of there. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm ranking. I probably should have done research. But no, I think I'm about 90% certain it's like the feeling of being like crushed into your seat, which is very cool, and I do like that. But there's things I prefer more. Anyway, ignoring that I don't know what positive G's are, we're now on to number 7, a large drop. I feel like that really makes a good ride. Like, obviously, I say this, and then my top 2 roller coasters I wouldn't say have like a large drop. Icon kind of does with the top hat, but like, not really. I suppose Big One is like the only ride that I really love with a big drop, because the only ride, well, one of 2 rides with a big drop in the country, I would say. I don't know, it's hard to say, but that initial first drop can make or break a ride. I think it's an important factor. Like, whilst Nemesis and Smiler don't have big drops, they have good drops. Same with Icon. Like, Icon, that first, I know it isn't a first drop in the typical sense, but the first drop, it sets off that's like, whoa, it's good. It's not as good as like before. It's complicated. Basically, drops are fun. That is, yeah. At number 6, we have laterals. Again, I googled this. I wasn't entirely sure what it meant, but I'm pretty sure it's like the feeling of going side to side, which I oddly like, just not in excess. Like, I don't like Grand National side to side. But I do like a bit of side to side, and I know that's like, to be honest, I enjoy Infusion. If it weren't for, like, I enjoy the side to sideness if it weren't for the fact that the side to sideness meant that my ears really hurt, because like you're slamming into the restraints. I think I enjoy side to side when I'm not hitting into stuff. Like Big Dipper, I rode it once by myself. Well, I've rode it multiple times, but once I did it by myself, and that one time I did it by myself, I loved the side to sideness, like, because it was just like, whoa, like, I like going side to side, basically, just not when I'm hitting into stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully I've got that one right, because again, I'm doing physics. Well, I'm planning on doing physics at A level. My knowledge on G-forces right now are just like. Anyway, at number 5. Oh, by the way, I just want to say we have little. I don't want you to know what I'm thinking, but like, this was the original list here. But yeah, that's why I keep looking to the side, because I've got my list, because I'm very bad for remembering how I rank stuff. So at number 5 we have launches. I love launches. Like, Icon isn't even necessarily like a good launch according to enthusiasts. So to me it's like amazing, but well, I say that like I'm not an enthusiast. According to like a lot of enthusiasts, it's not even that good of a launch, but I just love it so much. And same with Rita. Like, Rita is a good ride. I will stand by that. And the launch on Rita was just amazing. And I know I haven't done stuff, which is a better launch, but it's just that I feel like the launch is more important than the speed. Like, that feeling of like, whereas the speed, I don't think you feel the speed as much as you feel the launch. Does that make sense? Like, Oblivion doesn't feel faster than Rita, even though it is. Well, even though its top speed is. It doesn't feel fast by any means. Whereas Rita feels fast because you jolted forward. It's that zero, it's how quick you're going to be quick over how quick you are. At number 4, we have Beaming. And considering that Nemesis is my favourite ride in the UK, you can imagine I'm a sucker for this. Like, both Nemesis and Smiler have well, for the UK, have really good theming. Like the Marmalizer on the Smiler, when it's clean, looks spectacular. It's and it helps. I suppose the compactness helps with it. And I know I wrote that near the bottom, but like it's the whole package of the weaving in now. I think it just helps add to the atmosphere, and I think like it helps tell the story, and I like stories a lot. I suppose everyone does, but it helps like make an atmosphere. See, I should be amazing at GCSE English with an artist like that. Anyway, number 3 is well paced. I put it here. I'm now debating myself because like I feel like I should have placed it lower. Now that I think about it, because the thing is, I don't notice whether or not a ride is well placed, but I've put well placed here because I know that when other things aren't well paced, like music, like unless you do GCSE music or are like a classical music nerd, I doubt you know this, but it's not even classical, it's Baroque, I think. But Brandenburg's Concerto, so that's a gigue, right, which is basically like a dance style, and it's in ternary form. It basically goes, so it goes the A section, then a different B section, and then it goes back to the A section. But the way they do it, there's a pause in the middle, and one that just really annoys me, like between the B and the final A. But 2, it's a gigue. It's meant for dancing. Why is there a pause in the middle of the music when you want people to be dancing? What? So yeah, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But here we are. Anyway, so I don't like well-paced stuff in general, but I don't think I particularly noticed that on rides, now that I think about it. But I'm also not sure whether or not I have been on particularly badly paced rides. I feel like that's the issue with Oblivion. It's not the fact that it's short, it's the fact that it's short, but then everything after is so long because you've got like the break run. Where I don't think it's bad that the lift hill, I think it's well paced, except from when you're waiting for ages to get into the station, and I feel like that's what downgrades the ride more than anything. So I do think being well paced matters, but I'm not, in hindsight, I don't know why I put it at number 3. But like me an hour ago put it at number 3, and I trust me an hour ago. Anyway, at number 2 we have airtime. So airtime, it is truly an amazing feeling. I do love airtime. Like I think it's why I love Icon so much, just because of the airtime. And whilst I will say there are inversions that I prefer on the Smiler, that ejector airtime hill is something else. It's truly amazing. I wouldn't say it's the best thing on the ride, but it is. It's amazing, and it makes the ride well paced. So maybe good pacing does matter on rides. But yeah, airtime is just like, I feel like everybody knows that feeling of being out your seat, of being like it's like a but without the sound effects. It's like a massive breathe it in, and it feels like you're flying. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. It feels like you're flying just for that one little moment, and it can make and break a roller coaster, to be honest. Like, I don't know, it is such a good feeling, but not as good of a feeling as number 1, inversions. Now, on Coasterbot's list, this is at number 8. Now, I asked my general public non-fousey friends, I asked a few of them, and they really like inversions, but this was at number 8 of 13 on Coasterbot's list. So I just thought that was like an interesting point to add. I don't particularly agree with inversions being so low, but then again, I just love them so much. It's why I love roller coasters. Like, well, I first got over, I feel like I've got over my fear-ish on that. Well, no, that's not when I got over my fear. I was still afraid, but that first inversion on the Smiler, just, I love it so much. It's genuinely one of my favourite inversions ever. I just love it so much. It's spectacular. That feeling of going upside down, because it's not like if you've done like any form of like, I suppose, gymnastics or just anything where you go up there, you make yourself go upside down. Like, I've done like cartwheels. I suppose everybody's done cartwheels, but like front kickers before. I'm not anything spectacular, but it's a very different feeling than going upside down on a roller coaster, and I much prefer going upside down on a roller coaster because that doesn't give me a headache, whereas me making myself go upside down does really hurt my head sometimes. But yeah, going upside down on a roller coaster is just spectacular, and it's like that feeling where you're like, I know I said I don't like the feeling of falling out your seat, but I like it when I go upside down. I don't get it. I don't get how my brain works. All I know is I really love inversions, and that like I can name my favourite inversions because I'm that nerdy. I can name that my top 3 inversions are Nemesis's vertical loop, Smiler's, is it a heartline roll? Smiler's heartline roll, and the Smiler's sea serpent roll. And that one's tied with Icons. The best, I missed something out there. The best inversion ever is Icons, I think it's a barrel roll. It's a 0G. I forgot exactly what it is, but you know which one I'm on about. When on Enzo. That is the best inversion ever. So, whilst I wouldn't recommend paying for Enzo, because it's like 15 quid. Like, unless you really love roller coasters. Unless you really love roller coasters, I wouldn't. It's extortionate. But I would do it again purely because of that one inversion. So yeah, that's my list. I doubt anybody is going to fight me over Lift Hills being at the bottom, but you might fight me over some others. I want to hear your opinions in the comments. Like, where do you think this stuff should be placed? Do you think Coasterbot got it spot on? Well, the general public that Coasterbot asked got it spot on? Or do you agree that, yeah, there might be a few shifts? Anyway, back to the main video.